guys, my name is Amanda. Now, I would like a show of hands. How many of you think shrunken heads are cool? Alright, everyone. I also happen to think they're really neat. Now, as a kid, you can probably imagine, I was kind of nerdy, and so in addition to hanging out at libraries, sticking my nose in books all the time, I also like to go to museums. And my absolute favorite museum is actually right here in Oklahoma. And its name is Woolaroc. And what I'd like to do today is just kind of tell you guys about the history of Woolaroc and why it's so important to me, and also what it's like today. Now, it started out actually as the resort house of a guy named Frank Phillips. Now, this is the guy who started Phillips Petroleum Company, currently named ConocoPhillips. And so it was his lake house, and I know a lot of people wonder what's with the name Woolaroc, where did that come from? And Frank Phillips and his wife actually came up with it, and what it is, it's a combination of the words woods, lakes, and rocks. Because since it's nestled in the Osage Hills, as you can imagine, it has beautiful views and landscapes and obviously woods, lakes, and rocks. And so Woolaroc was originally kind of his lake house where he and his wife went to relax, but they began building the museum there in 1925, and in 1929 they actually opened the museum. And I got all this from this lovely book called Woolaroc, which I actually purchased there at Woolaroc. And one of the reasons why Woolaroc is really important to me is it's kind of, instead of, a museum where they have these elaborate exhibits and plaques explaining things, the good thing about Woolaroc is it's kind of like going to your grandma's house or your grandpa's house and like going through their old picture albums and having them telling you stories. And it's kind of just a hodgepodge collection of what Mr. and Mrs. Phillips developed in their lifetime, what was interesting to them. And so it's a very diverse collection. I mean, obviously we have shrunken heads. They also have the largest collection of Colt handguns in the United States. They also have some of the most famous airplanes in the world. They also have a huge collection of Indian artifacts. So as you can imagine, it's a really awesome place to go. Now, today, in addition to a museum, they also have a wildlife refuge. Now, this is on 3,700 acres, so they do have a lot of animals, but some of them include like buffalo, ostrich, elk, and also longhorns. And this is kind of a drive-through area where you can take pictures, but they also have a petting zoo area for little kids, so that little kids can interact with the animals and get to know some of the more exotic species. In addition, they also have lots of nature trails, and they also have living history exhibits. Now what this is you can pay to go live like an 1840s mountain man for a week. Or you can also go live for a week on an early day oil lease. And so you can you get a lot of different experiences. You have kind of a zoo, kind of a museum, and kind of like an outdoor nature hike. And so there's lots of different kinds of fun. And also, to me, it's kind of an Oklahoma treasure, not just because it was Frank Phillips and he is a big part of Oklahoma history, but also because they have a huge collection of Southwestern art and a huge collection of Indian artifacts, which is obviously a big part of Oklahoma culture. And in addition, it also showcases a lot of Oklahoma's really important natural wonders. And so this is just my personal kind of treasure of Oklahoma, which I would recommend, of course, to everyone that you visited at least once. I'm sure once you visit it once, you'll want to go back, but hopefully you will visit it, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.